That's a big reach.
Well,
No.
you are the T-Rex.
You ever seen my husband? Yeah, he's quite funny when he runs. He used to work at.
Do you really want to put this out there?
Oh yeah, it's funny.
Okay, all right.
So where he used to work was an undisclosed bank, and Addie had gone in to do some banking, and she seen Ramon scurrying from one place to another. And she turned to the teller, Ramon's co-worker at the time, and they goes, "Have you ever noticed that my dad runs like a T-Rex? Because he does. He runs and his little hands are like this, and he's scurrying everywhere." And so Ramon was
I
sitting there
gave her
saying,
the option to pull away.
no,
I
but
really did.
it's so funny because now Ramon was sitting going, now everyone looks and laughs every time I'm running around with the thing because they envision it. And then, what was it, the other day she seen another person and she says, I think it must be a cultural thing. Because I said, I don't know, but it was just funny. And then sometimes she catches the boys running around like that. And I'm like, yep, it's hereditary apparently.
Hello, everybody. It's Deborah
And Lori.
coming to you from Tom's with your weekly dose. So, just everybody remember, I gave her the option to pull away from that.
Oh, everyone needs a good laugh, okay? Like, it's hilarious. Ramon knows he runs like a T-Rex because it's just funny.
Okay, so we have some interesting things to discuss
And lots
today.
of good stuff.
Interesting things to show.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just jam-packed today. So, we have received
Just
new
in case you
fabric.
notice. Bunch of new fabric. It's interesting.
Yes, our backdrop here. We're going to highlight a couple.
Did you say jam-packed today? Is that a dig at Carrie not having enough to do, so she decided to make fresh homemade strawberry jam?
She
yesterday?
did. I
Did
know.
she?
did.
Oh,
I know.
now I'm waiting for
She had
raspberry
lots of
jam.
spare time, so she decided, and then she decided to double the batch. So at midnight, sometime after that, she came.
No.
Yes, I know. I know, and and then she got mentioned that, so I started making jam. So, and then I couldn't find my clip, so I'm still in the middle of that. But then I found frozen raspberries and frozen blueberries. So I'm not only making strawberry jam, but raspberry jam and blueberry jam.
I remember those days. Of
In
the
amongst
pickles,
everything else.
jams, all of that stuff. I'm done. Okay, here
Isn't it cute?
yes.
If you're into
Horses.
horses, isn't that beautiful?
And then
Here,
I'll take it here.
You take it.
Hummingbirds. Isn't this gorgeous? Look at that. Even though it's blue. This one. I love this. This is beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
This would make a lovely bag.
Yes. Oh, I got a Vanna. You got two Vannas.
That's right.
If you're getting ready for Halloween, we got a bunch of Halloween ones in. Some
Yes.
really cute, and some
Yes.
Halloween with like cats and dogs. They're
Oh,
actually kind of
cool.
cute.
I like the skeleton
Okay,
here.
this next two are coming with a warning.
Don't buy it.
Don't
We
buy.
want
Okay,
it.
the hummingbirds and
Yes, that's right.
I'm like picking. Oh, these are pretty, and then I'm like sitting there.
I don't think you understand how
The
retail
concept.
works.
I know I'm picking these out, and I'm like going, these are so pretty, and I'm going to show them. And then after I'm like,
Yes.
my brain is going, yeah, and I'm going to show them, and everyone's
That's-
going to want them, and then
That's how we lost out last time.
yes, it does. It is. We show the ones that we like, and then we go to buy them, and it's like
Going.
so. I'm like I said, I'm coming in. My name's Amanda with a wig, and gonna like buy it that way. So this next stuff is a warning. Okay, the
Yeah.
last time we brought in a series based on this theme, it got ugly.
It did. It,
48 hours, it was sold, and it was nasty.
it was.
So
But you had it yesterday. Yeah.
Their
Yes.
house was sold out too.
I know.
None left.
there was none left. Okay, so we are showing this with a warning. Okay, and asking people to please be kind. Okay, we've
Yeah.
only got a bolt of each, and once it's gone, it's gone.
It's
We
gone.
can't get it, and so if it's there and like at 102, but not there at 104. There's nothing we can do about it. Okay, we are trying our best.
This
We're
is how
talking
fast
hours
it went.
and minutes, not
Yes.
January 2nd.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, not days.
Okay, so it's a book theory series. So this one's really, really nice.
It is. It's just gorgeous.
But you gotta see this last one. And yeah. And I don't know that the camera will show it as
can
well, but
show
look, isn't that
Just
gorgeous?
how beautiful
Yes.
this is. It is absolutely stunning.
So, and that's, I know.
And it's even slightly Halloween.
Oh, it is. It's
Because
cool.
yes. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Well, no, it is. It
Yes.
is very,
Yeah.
very. Well, I mean, this one has books
Yes.
and potions, and so I don't know. Maybe it goes, but it's beautiful, and so that's just a sample of some of the stuff back there.
Yes.
But no.
No. That's my
No.
bag.
No.
That's one I made. So, yeah.
And then we have a quilt we want to show you that was done in she took a class, and
The
it's one of our
stacking wax.
texts here. And it is absolutely stunning.
Okay, so
Her work is fabulous, and you
She
need
even
to see
double
the
bind
back.
it.
You need to see the back because we've got
she picked the panel, put the
Another
panel on the
panel
back,
on
and
the
then
back.
all the colors in the front is like even some of it's the panel, and
Yeah.
so that's where she got all of her colors from. This is a tech.
yes.
So
this is one
they
of our
don't
texts.
just fix machines; they
They-
actually sew.
That's right.
But
It's
it just-
absolutely
Not
gorgeous.
to name any names, but her name starts with a D and ends with an A.
That's right. That's right.
And
this
it's not Joel or Tom.
But
So
Joel made one too. It's
Yes,
done
yeah, I
well.
think-
he
I
did.
think
They
we've
took the
shown
class
off his
together.
too.
Yeah.
He hasn't got binding done yet. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So as soon as his is done, you'll
Where are
see
you
it
going?
I don't know.
inside.
I'm
There.
blonde. Okay, remember, blonde and old. We don't know what we're doing.
I'll go with the old, but the blonde, you might want
Tom's trying to try really hard.
to just say nothing.
A wise man told his wife nothing.
That's
because
right.
He was a wise man.
So that's the new fabric, and the next shipment of new fabric will be Christmas. Christmas fabric, my
Yay.
favorite, my absolute favorite.
And although it is 196 sleeps till Christmas, when we say the next shipment is Christmas fabric, not it's coming in
That's-
196 sleeps. It will be here in a couple of sleeps.
That's right.
Or
Yes.
getting ready for 196 sleeps.
Couple of
This
sleeps.
is right.
See, I
Yes.
interpret that as like 2. Are we meaning like in a couple of days?
Couple of weeks.
Couple
This
of
Couple
weeks.
of weeks,
That's
yeah.
right. So it'll be packing within the next week and then shipping, and so with trucking and everything, we should be
So a
seeing
couple of
it.
Yeah,
weeks.
couple
okay.
of weeks. So,
Because otherwise I'd be here 2 days going, where's the Christmas fabric?
So,
Just
and
unpack it.
that Christmas fabric also kind of goes really fast. So keep an eye on, keep listening to us. We'll let you know when it's here. Keep checking the website. So, and because of all this brand new fabric coming in,
You need to make room.
lots of it, we have to make room. So there's going to be a sale. Somewhere between 25 to 40%, and it's going to be starting tomorrow. You are also going to be eligible for the end of Bolt 10%. So depending upon the fabric, you could be getting somewhere between 35 to 50% off.
We
So-
encourage you to empty those 13.7 meter bolts.
Yeah.
10% bonus.
Yeah, I don't know what you would want 13 point whatever
You are not
for.
creative enough if you can't figure out how to
What
use
to do-
13 meters.
Well, if it's the book fabric.
Oh, yes.
That would be no problem whatsoever because
Well, okay,
again,
he
it's
just encouraged us.
stunning.
I will take the book fabric.
He's not gonna let you do.
I know he's not.
And
Tell you what, you distract him. I'll grab it and we'll share.
Smile and nod.
smile and nod. I'm here every day. Okay.
To be
Trust
fair,
me, if
we
I was
do know
gonna,
where you live and
Uh,
where you
that's
work.
right.
So.
if I was gonna take something, it wouldn't be a bolt of fabric.
Make that insurance claim worthwhile, right? So-
Right, absolutely. And we still have the demo sale. So there's
Yes.
still machines for for the demo sales. So if you're looking for,
I haven't checked.
yeah, I'm not
I know-
sure what
I
we're
know
at,
A couple
but-
of the big ones are still available.
Yeah.
They're in the big category, and a few of the small ones are available.
so yeah, the kind of the middle ones
It's a
kind of,
good
yeah.
mixture still.
Exactly.
There is.
Also, Cool Canada is, it's,
Starts on the 18th. That's next
yeah, okay,
weekend,
it's
I'm
this
pretty sure.
month, yeah.
Yeah.
So, and as an incentive from
Husqvarna.
Husqvarna, Husqvarna.
No cut. No cut. Husqvarna. Husqvarna.
It's not gonna happen.
It's
It's up there. I know. It's
Think of the
just not.
Swedish chef on Sesame Street, the Muppets.
From here to here, it gets in the queue. The queue there. So they've got some incentives. And these are new and or like a machine that is out as a demo. There'll be 50% off, $50 off, $50 off from between $500 to $1,000. $100 off between $1,001 up to $4,000. $150 off a $4,001 to $10,000, and $200 off from a $10,001 and over.
And those do stack with the floor model discounts.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, and it's one discount per machine. You can't combine
One
any.
coupon per machine.
Yes, yeah, one person, yeah, one purchase only.
And on new purchases and stuff. So,
Yes.
but yeah, so it's going to be fun. So it's just on the
And it starts on the, that starts on the 18th.
Husqvarna.
Husqvarna.
Yes. As they say, we don't sell chainsaws, we sell sewing machines.
It's the same company.
Actually, no, it's not
Oh,
anymore. But
okay.
it
All right.
was the same.
It
company.
was.
Okay. So yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Okay, alrighty. So now we're gonna move into classes. Just some info here. The cake therapy is on a hiatus for the summer. That's because Tom will be otherwise engaged.
No
So,
cake for you.
pardon me?
No cake for you.
That's right. So you're gonna have to wait until September.
Yes.
Very likely before the next
And
opportunity for cake therapy comes up.
Stitch and Chad
Stitch and Chatter for
Surrey is supposed to be next week. It is being bumped to the last Thursday of June.
That's because you might be entangled in court.
Well, yeah, but let's specify that it's for the right reasons, because
No.
they're all going, no, she got caught.
Leave it out there. Just leave it out there.
No, I don't know the people I got caught, because I don't get caught. So, no, I got the jury.
You don't get caught.
I don't. You'd be surprised what I've done.
Oh.
As Lori said, it may have been a rough week, but she hasn't had to use bail money or hide any bodies yet. So.
I wouldn't go far on the second one,
Yeah,
okay?
She's doing a lot of gardening lately.
Exactly. Hello, I'm bearing something.
You're planting endangered species.
Yeah.
They can't dig them up.
So,
I
I
have not thought about this. Sorry.
No, it's not crossed anybody's
know my
mind.
children, I can get away with a lot. So I have jury selection. So on the Thursday, I have to go for jury selection. So last time I got,
Just watch that movie Jury Duty on how not to get selected.
Yes.
It's just
well, the thing
do
is,
the opposite of what they do.
last time I got it, I showed up and they sat there and they said, oh no, they've settled out, you don't need to go in. And so I didn't get to go. But I cleared everything that they said to clear, and so I was ready. So this time they go, you need to clear this, and because if you get picked, this is what it is. And so I'm like, but I've got everybody going, well, we need you for here, and we need you for this, and we need you for that. So like I am needed in so many different ways that following week. I'm getting jury duty.
You're getting picked. There's no
Walk
two
in
ways
there
about
and
it.
Tell
Yeah.
them that as far as you're concerned, if you've been arrested by the police, you deserve the maximum punishment allowable under the law. They will not let you on
That's
that.
right. They are going to send you
Unless
home.
there's 30 of us and all 29 before me have said the same thing.
Call another pool. There's multiple pools on standby.
Or you
So-
consider everybody innocent, then the other side's going to turn you
Yeah.
away.
There's ways.
That's right. There are ways of getting around
Or
it.
I could just sit there and say it's blonde. That'll do it.
Don't you make like $5 a day, or is it purely volunteer in Canada?
I
No,
don't know.
it is minimal. It is not enough to cover getting there.
That's why they're like $5 a day?
Yeah.
Or is that like the US?
Back when it was me, and this is going way back, it was $4 a day.
Yeah.
I didn't get picked, so
You missed out on that big windfall?
absolutely, absolutely, because because everybody can survive on $4 a day up here, anywhere. I don't care where it is. Anyway, this is one of the classes for
That's the Surger Club.
Surger Club.
So if you have taken the Surger classes,
Yes.
you have to have taken at least Surger 1 to
One.
do this one.
Yes.
This is now taking the knowledge that you learned in those classes and actually applying it to a project and using those new skills.
Yeah, this really, the picture does not do it justice. As soon as I saw it, I went, oh yeah, I could take that.
Yep.
I hadn't thought that until I saw it up close. So definitely, this is so cute.
We've got our date picked for stocking day. So you guys remember stockings and when we do all that. And so we're going to make sure that we get those going. November 21st. So mark that on your calendar. That's when you can come into the stores.
Yeah.
And they'll help you make stockings. It's a great social event where you can visit with everybody and stitch
Have
away
fun.
and
Yeah,
have fun.
exactly.
And then of course the stockings go to the Christmas Bureau, which they
Yes.
look forward to every
So
year.
we like to do that nice and early to get them out of here.
Kimber Bell Day is July 26th.
Yep.
So that is the big Kimber Bell does their presentation from
and,
then.
and
It's,
it is early
Yes.
in the day.
so it's going to be in the Surrey store only if you want to come in person. 9 o'clock.
Here?
Yeah, is it 9 o'clock? No,
I
it's 8.
thought- yeah, at
It's
least
8.
8.
It's 9 o'clock Utah
There-
time,
yes.
8 o'clock our
And they're
time.
2 times over, aren't they?
1.
Oh, 1? Oh, okay.
One.
All right. Okay.
So they're the same as Alberta.
Alrighty.
So 8 o'clock in person if you want to here. We'll have treats.
Yep.
It's 8 o'clock in the morning.
And for
on a
some, there'll be
Saturday.
coffee. And we're keep an eye on the calendar, the class calendar, because we are booking classes right up until the end
yeah.
of the year.
So there's a lot of classes coming in.
And we have a new teacher. You have to check the calendar to find out who it is, because we're not going to tell you.
She said I couldn't say her name, so I didn't say her
You
name.
know, the list is getting longer of everything I have to get you back for. Just be aware. And now we're going to move on to the fun stuff.
If you've not had fun so far,
That's a lot of pressure after that.
We have Tom with us today, and this will be our last Tech Talk until at least
September.
the end of August, early part of September, because
I'm gonna slide over and then you
we're
can
not
come
going to be
over.
here.
Join us.
I'm gonna pull a few things out. So we're gonna be talking today about cost versus value, and I have props because I like props. So
It's always got props. And half the time they're naked.
Yes.
we're gonna do walkabout
I don't like
today
seeing
too
them
on some
naked.
things. So, and I'm gonna have assistants here. Okay.
You
So
get to be mad.
we're talking about your throat space on your sewing machine, and throat space is from your needle bar over here to the inner arm of the machine. Okay, and it's different on all machines. Standard for traditional sewing machines is 5.5 to 6 inches. This is a featherweight for those of you who didn't recognize it. If you didn't recognize it, you need to remove the blanket off of your head and come out into the real world and visit periodically. Anyway, this is a small 3/4 head size machine, so it's even tinier than that. So Deborah can put our tape measure up so that you can see.
Nope, I'm up.
You're upside down. Let's go this way. Okay, so hold it up to the needle there. Can't see over there. So you see on the featherweight, they still managed to get it to be about 5 inches on there. So they call it a 3/4 head size, but it's still about 5 inches. This one here, okay, is one of those naked ones that she was talking about. Okay, and it's showing 7 inches, but we're gonna lose about 1 inch when we put the plastic covers on, when we dress it up. Okay. Go out for the ball gown. This is hard with these guys over here, isn't it? How do you guys deal with this every week? So
Excuse me?
there's a cost to your throat space, and there's a value to your throat space. The cost is what it physically costs to make it. The value is what value it is to you. Okay, so let me explain what I mean by that. Okay, so this machine here.
Tip that down a little bit so you don't have to lift.
Sure. Can we do that?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm just gonna sneak in here.
We have the technology apparently. Okay. So this one here, being metal, costs more to make. To keep the prices down, they cut out the number of features they put in. This one here, being cheaper, they put more features into it to make it a better sales pitch. So this one here has 35 stitches and a built-in needle threader. Okay, but then they also gave us a plastic hook, again making it absolutely useless. Ask me how I truly feel about plastic hooks, that's a whole another conversation. This one here with the metal frame is only 12 stitches. We have no needle threader. Okay, it's a very basic mechanical. This one is going to last you 20, 25, 30 years if you look after it. This one here is going to last you a year or two depending on how you look after it. 10 to 15 uses is about all you really get out of these throwaway ones. Okay, now once you're doing that, we're going to put this guy, he has to have the front to actually be able to even stand up. So we're going to set him down over there because we're kind of done with him. Okay, so this is the Horizon chassis by Janome. Okay, and it's actually with the covers on an 11-inch throat space. So once the covers are on into your needle bar, which is actually sitting over about here, you get 11 inches of space on there for you. Okay, which is a drastic change and difference from our little guy there, our normal size. You see the difference in there. Okay, I'm getting my exercises lifting weights today. So with your machines like this, okay, remember I said we were going to talk about cost versus value. Depends on what you're sewing. So if you're sewing, doing mending and repairs, and just clothes sewing and stuff like that, then a big throat space has zero value to you. Okay, doesn't matter what the cost is to build it and put it on there. To you as the user, it has zero value because it is not giving you anything that you need or will ever use over a smaller throat space, because you're always working at the end here. You're never putting big chunks into there. If all you do is, say you're in the quilting side of things and all you do is piece, okay, because you always send your quilts out to be quilted by long armers, or you've got a friend that does it, or that kind of stuff. Again, you don't need a big throat space because you're never going to be doing anything other than a 1/4-inch seam. And so that's how quilters use the featherweight. Okay, they do all their piecing on there. They love these things. Okay, to me, the featherweight, it's like the Ford Model T. I love to look at them. I think they're really great in car shows. They look really good on my mantle. I do not want to commute to work in one, and I do not want to go on a road trip in one. When I get in the car to drive, I want my power windows, power steering, my heated seats, and my air conditioning. So, but I know people that love to sew with their featherweight, and they do all their sewing on their featherweight. All power to them. But that's not me. So each of us has different values to these things that come to us versus the cost of these things. Okay. So as we start going up in, quite often you go into sewing stores nowadays and they always tell you, oh, you got to have the big throat space. You got to have the big throat space. It depends on what you're sewing and what you're going to be using it for. Because the throat space, which is how the machines are quite often marketed, okay, might have zero value to you. Okay. But you might be buying the machine and forced to have the throat space. So for example, if you wanted a laser guide, nice laser guide, okay, first machine that it comes out on is the Baby Lock Chorus, okay, which is an 11-inch throat space. But if you're just using it for piecing, and the laser guide is really nice for having that laser down on the top, piecing, especially paper piecing and stuff, having that red
Yeah.
line on the black line makes a huge difference. Okay, and lining up your stitching and stuff like that for sewing hems and all that kind of stuff. You're not buying the 11-inch throat space for the 11-inch throat space. You're buying it for the laser guide. Okay, does that make sense?
That's where your value is.
That's where your value is, and so each of us will have a different value. So if you want to buy a machine, say it costs $1,000 to put this 11-inch chassis on here versus the regular chassis. If you're never going to use it, its physical cost is $1,000, but its value to you is zero. Okay. If you really are doing projects where you use the big throat space, its physical cost is still that $1,000, but its value to you might be $5,000, okay, or $10,000 in value, the feel for it. Say you're wanting to buy one with the laser guide, which is I think about $7,000, $6,000, somewhere in there. It's a lot of money. That laser guide might be a $500 physical item, but it doesn't exist on anything below the 11-inch chassis. So you're paying for the cost of all of those features that went in the 11-inch chassis, everything bundled together. And so you would buy that if that laser guide had the $5,000 in value to you, that the 11-inch throat space had $5,000 in value to somebody else. Okay. So the value to us has nothing to do with the cost of the build. It has to do with how much we're going to use it and how much we want to use it or want it for. If we've got bad eyesight, or eyesight's starting to go, or our lighting just isn't very good, that laser guide, it is a lifesaver. Okay. If you're working and you got great eyesight, you're not reduced to wearing glasses yet, got mine right here, then just like a needle threader, it might have zero value to you. You might never ever go, yeah, I got a laser guide, I've never turned it on. So, okay. So does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So let's grab the camera, let's walk around the store a bit, and let's show you how these things are done for us. Okay.
Pop this up, turn it around. All right, we're gonna follow Tom. See if he starts singing "Walk This Way." Walk this way.
Okay, so if we start with basic mechanical machines here. These are all machines on that regular 5.5-inch, 6-inch throat space, okay? So that was the one that we saw that was naked in there. So they're all working on different branded but same chassis sizing on the inside as we're adding more and more features in. One-step buttonholes, built-in needle threaders, presser foot pressure, more stitches, stitch positioning. And that guy's not there. We run back down to this end here, and start coming forward again. To finish off the mechanical, now we start getting into the computerized, but still on the 5.5 to 6-inch chassis. So we're adding other features in, digital adjustment, many more decorative stitches, because we can do things with feed stepper motors and zigzag stepper motors that we can't do without a very, very complicated mechanical system. Then we start adding in automatic thread cutters, okay. Now we jump up to our first one with a bigger throat space, 8.25-inch throat space, okay. And there's a whole series in the 8.25-inch throat space between Baby Lock, Janome, Husqvarna, Alna, all 8 of the major brands. Okay. So here's some Husqvarna ones here, the 8-inch throat space, okay. Then we get a little bit bigger, we're now jumping into a 10-inch throat space, okay. Janome, we've gone back to an 8-inch throat space, but we've added a bunch of extra features, AccuFeed walking foot system, auto presser foot up and down. Here we're going to a semi-industrial steel chassis, flatbed, okay, with the AccuFeed walking foot system. Now we're getting to that's 10.25 as well. Back up to our 11-inch throat space. Okay, for the Janome, that's on the Horizon chassis, that big alloy one that I showed you in there. That's what's inside these guys here. Here we are, the Epic Quilt 97. This is a sewing only version by Husqvarna of their Epic 3. So it's on a 12-inch chassis. Okay, and it's got a laser guide in there for us as well. As you can see, over $11,000. Okay, so it's not the first one with a laser guide. This is Ballad in the Baby Lock, 11-inch chassis. Nice large digital touchscreen. So sideways, diagonally, all sorts of different things in there. Then we come over here and we start to add in our embroidery category. So embroidery and sewing. So we go back to smaller chassis. So here we are with our 6-inch throat space. Okay, and we have very tiny hoop area because we can only go so wide. And we get a little bit bigger. Okay, we're 5x7. A little bit bigger. We're on the 8¼ inch frame now. Okay. Then we jump up here. This is an embroidery only machine. It does 8 inches wide in its embroidery. So it's about a 11-inch chassis that it's on. The Epic 3 on our 12-inch chassis with our really large hoops. As you can see, it's got lots of flatbed space. The arm comes all the way out to here. Here's the arm or the hoop. So as you can see, I can actually go through the hoop if my glasses don't get stuck on it. They're so big. Now, I've lost a lot of weight, but I cannot do that to this hoop. No matter how much I try.
And believe me, he's tried.
Think tiny thoughts, Didn't work. Okay. Baby Lock's new Radiance out there, again with another one of these ginormous hoops. Is ginormous a real word or a made up word? I'm on good English today.
I don't know.
Okay. So you can see these are huge. That's 11 5/8 by 18¼ inches. And then our Janome machine, the M17. Okay. Here we've got, they've gone and added in carbon nanofiber for that hoop. That's why that hoop is black. Okay, so it's 10 times stronger than steel and 1/10 of the weight of iron.
Wow.
For the hoop strength on there for you. Okay, so you can see there's a huge variety of options. You can pick and choose. Value to you depends on how much you're going to use. You might be going to a machine like this for a specific item, and that's what you're buying it for. You might never use 80% of what's in the machine, but those items that you're buying it for have the value that justifies the purchase price for you. Okay? And this is why we ask questions and stuff, because quite often the things that you're looking for, we can find one at a different category at a better savings for you. Then you can spend more money on fabric. See? So,
Well,
you can get that book fabric.
just kind of like, when you're talking value between the machines. Okay, everybody knows I want the M17. Okay, just if you haven't heard. Yeah.
Not alone in that.
Yeah. So, but now I've been doing some training and taking one of the main reasons it's Janome. I love how user friendly it is. It's what I've had, so those were value to me. I've been doing a little bit of work now on the Radiance and learning Baby Lock and finding it's not as difficult as my brain. And so there's some features on the Radiance that the M17 doesn't have. And so now I have to decide which is going to be more value to me, because I don't think my husband will agree to me buying $50,000. I'd happily do that. Hey, Robot, I just bought $50,000 worth of embroidery machines.
Never's significant other at home won't stop her.
That's right.
I don't know where Ramon would either, but
issue.
so now it is looking in between. Okay, so I like this, but this is a feature. So now it's looking to which is going to be of more value to me.
Wasting money on where can I
Yeah.
get out and get the value out? And people always say to me, like, because we carry 5 of the 8 major brands in here, and people say, why do you carry all these different brands? They all bring different things to the table, right? Like this one here has a 5-inch by 8-inch projector in it. Okay, it's the only one on the market that has that. Okay, it has digitizing right on the machine. This one here doesn't have either of those features, but it has a whole bunch of app features. They approach it with an app process. as opposed to built-in process. This is on a solid steel flatbed chassis, like that 10 1/4 inch one was over there, only it's 13.7 inches. This is now 14.1 inches, so we get bigger on our throat spaces. And so each machine, Husqvarna is bringing, again, a mixture of those features together. And so the different brands complement each other. And so some people are like, I'm a Janome person, I've always been a Janome person, or a Baby Lock person, I've always been a Baby Lock person. That's fine, that's where you look. And other people are like, these are the features that I'm looking for, or here's the price point I'm looking for. What can I get at that price point, or where can I get this feature, and how much do I have to spend to get that feature? So by having multiple brands, it allows us to customize to you, the user.
Yeah, because it's all about, like you said, value.
Yeah,
You know,
to yourself personally.
that you get out of it, because you don't want to buy something that you're not going to use a lot of the features for, because it's spent, or
And you can
underbuy and sit there and going, I wish I had.
And that's just, you're better off to underbuy, because you can always trade up.
Yes.
You can never trade down, but you can always trade up. And a lot of people, I find, especially if they're not, haven't bought a machine for a long time, they still are in the mentality that you buy that machine and you have that machine for 20, 30, 40 years. The reason that is because nothing changed in the sewing machine world for 30, 40, 50 years. Right? Like, it was 30 years between the time when they gave us a reverse stitch and when they added zigzag. Okay. Now, you know, before that, it was 30 years before they gave from a reverse stitch to stitch length. You know, and then it was 50 years from zigzag to electronic digital, or electronic decorative stitches. But now, every year we're getting updated machines, and they're dropping down the technology from here into the next lower level and the next level. And then every 3 to 6 years, each brand is launching new top of the line equipment with brand new features that they've never ever had before. You know, and people always say to me, what do you think they're coming out with next? I have no idea. I've been doing this since the mid-90s. Every 3 to 6 years, every brand has been coming out with new features. Playing the guessing game, I've been right a grand total of 0 times. So even if I told you what I think they're coming out with next, remember, I've been right a grand total of 0 times.
So don't pay attention.
So
It's hard to predict what they're coming out with,
they
because
literally have people sitting in focus groups going, what would you like to see? And then they have engineers going and taking notes and going, how can we make that work? Can we? And they're testing it and trying it, and they do stuff and it doesn't really work out. So it goes back to the drawing board, and somebody approaches it from a different direction, a different angle. New technology changes. So for example, I was talking to someone the other day, transformer technology has gotten so cheap that we now have a transformer in every one of our sewing machines, which allows us to change it to DC power, direct current power, when it gets to the machine. So we all have DC motors in here, which are stronger, faster, and more reliable than AC. But when you had to have a great big transformer to convert the power, it wasn't feasible to do. Now it's a tiny little thing that's inside every one of these computerized machines, so they're all running on DC power, but it's AC power right up to the machine, because that technology has now become cheap and readily available. So anyway, that's my spout for the day.
there you go.
Okay.
Wow.
That's a lot of info for
It
everybody.
is.
But, I did not know that about the DC power.
Cool.
So
We're going to say goodbye.
yeah. I already sat down.
But no, I got a nasty sunburn. All right, we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
All right, so we will see you guys next week. I'm not even sure what we got on.
No,
docket.
I don't know what we're doing
I have to
next
look at
week,
the
but
thing. Have fun. Come in, check out the new fabric. Come in and check out the demo sales, and just come hang out.
yeah, come and visit.
Check out the classes. I got some good classes there. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
All right. Talk to you later. Bye.